Here, I'm gonna get my shoes on as I'm doing this video. Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. Yeah. This is the last Friday of April of 2025. And yesterday was the last Thursday of April 2025. As such, I'm actually now thinking, how am I going to plan out the rest of this month? Because for sure I need to do my Dragon Ball R thoughts on Broly, because that was supposed to be next. I mean, the 30th I'm doing, actually I'm doing a little higher at the comments before I get anything started. So, my low would be, I guess at the moment I'm feeling a little bit sore from something I did yesterday. Nothing too serious or anything, but, you know, if you've ever, had soreness in your legs, specifically like in your thigh area, then you know how annoying it can be. My high was several things. I went to the opening of Turks yesterday. Turks was like a farmer's market type location that was in Horseheads, but they have a new location in Big Flats, which is actually near where my parents live. So I got to check it out. It was really good. I also got to watch the drafted picks last night. Well, some of the draft. And congratulations to all the teams that picked whoever it is they wanted to pick for their teams. I totally forgot the name of the guy the Cowboys just drafted. Tyler Booker maybe? It was something like that. But, you know what? At the end of the day, you know, every time the draft comes up, I feel like I mention, whether or not these people turn out to be, busts, really shouldn't matter, because they made it to the NFL. You know, they've been granted God-given talent and have an opportunity to make a living doing the thing they love, which is play football. In some cases, playing football is how they get their family out of poverty. So, again, if your team drafted a person that you wanted, congratulations. If not, I wouldn't fret too much about it, because this is only the first round of the draft. We still got a long way to go. Not to mention, the season doesn't start for at least 4 months. I think you can afford to relax a little bit. And what was my act of kindness? Had my mom watch my nephews yesterday. That was fun. I was also able to hold the door for someone. That was also really good as well. Celebrate is kind of a loose word. I did pay my respects to the owner of Picks because it was his birthday yesterday. So yeah, that was an act of kindness I did. So yeah, this is the last Friday of April 2025. I just realized this really could be the one time I could do my ARC thoughts on a Friday, couldn't I? I really could. I mean, we have no new episode of Hot Ones, obviously. Unfortunately, I don't have my notes on me at the moment because my computer is still... I never unpacked my computer yesterday when I took it with me to go out and stuff. So at the moment, I'm kind of stuck. Unfortunately, there's nothing else really going on at the moment that I'm aware of. I mean, there's a flag football game I plan on going to today. Hopefully that'll be fun. What else has been going on as of late? Well, I can afford to not really wear such heavy clothing anymore. Seriously, by the end of the day, yesterday, I really thought, you know what? Maybe I should start wearing short sleeve shirts. I mean, I would say it's still a little bit too soon. It's just the morning. The mornings are kind of bad for that. But everything else is like totally fine. Like as soon as you get to the afternoon. I have a leather jacket I really want to wear, but unfortunately, like I got worried about it raining, and it's not supposed to rain until later tonight. But I don't want to risk that. Let's see, what else? Guess there really isn't that much. And you know what? As long as I'm thinking about the draft, I just want to say, like, and I've talked about this before, it really is starting to feel more real whenever we draft, like, an offensive lineman, because, and I did a video about this a while back, at the moment, the one thing about being a Cowboys fan that really saddens me is all my favorite players are gone. See, I really didn't give the Cowboys a fair chance until, like, I was done with college. I mean, I liked him here and there, and I would sort of root for him, but I almost really wouldn't care. I didn't really start getting invested in that until I was out of college. I mean, at that point, we still had Tony Romo, and I was only like, oh, gee. And my first year out, it was really more of the same. And then the 2014-2015 season happened. We go 12-4, and you know the Dallas Cowboys game happens. So at that point, I'm like, okay, you know what? Okay, now like it was that year I finally saw what people were talking about when they were talking about how good of a quarterback Tony Romo is. Like there were analysts saying like a healthy Tony Romo is the best quarterback in the NFC East at that time. That is. This is 2014. Like this is back when like the quarterbacks were like Eli Manning. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember who the quarterbacks for the Eagles and the Redskins were. Yes, I'm gonna refer to them as the Redskins because I mean that's what they were called back then. Although yes, I am aware of the controversy where like, even though the Commanders had their name changed, like the people that ironically, the people that want them to keep their original name were the people that everyone thought was being offended by it. Crazy, right? I think I said that properly. But yeah, Zach Martin, who was one of the players on the team when I started liking the Cowboys again, he's gone. And you know, I could go on. Like Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith, Sean Lee, Des Bryant, DeMarco Murray, Leighton Vander Esch, even though he sort of came after I started liking them. I could keep going. Oh, Ezekiel Elliott too. Ezekiel Elliott. So it's hard, really. I mean, here's the thing. Like, even before I liked the Cowboys again, I just got so annoyed by Tony Romo, I really would take anyone at quarterback. That's why I haven't really been as critical on Dak Prescott as most other Cowboys fans have. I mean, did you guys forget what Romo did? I mean, you guys are the number one seed going into the playoffs. You've got the bye week where you could really hone your skills and get ready to take on the undefeated Patriots and possibly win. Because at that time, the Cowboys were the only team that actually gave them a solid run, or a solid showing. I mean, the Giants did too, but come on, nobody was expecting the Giants. And, Tony Romo takes Jason Witten. Oh, that's another guy, Jason Witten. And Cole Beasley, too. Like, they were on the Cowboys when I liked them. Now they're gone, too. Yeah, I took, like, Jason Witten, the receiving core, to... I keep hearing it was Cabo. I also heard it was Cancun. Something that begins with the letter CA that's warm and sunny that people like to go to and vacation at and have a good time. Point is, like, that's why they lost. I mean, the one reason why a lot of Cowboys fans weren't as mad about it as they really should have been is because Tony Romo did own up to it, which, okay, that's true, but the team that wound up beating you, which was the Giants, wound up winning the Super Bowl. Again, Cowboys fans really should be a lot more mad about that than they should be, or should be a lot more mad than they are. Yeah, that works. But I'm glad that they found a replacement for Zach Martin. This guy, Tyler Booker, I think his name is. I'm probably getting it wrong, but he looks promising. Yeah, I'm glad that we're prioritizing protecting Dak Prescott with an offensive line. We got Tyler Guyton yesterday. Well, we're getting a lot of Tylers on the team, aren't we? If nothing else, a good chunk of those players I did mention, like the one silver lining is that that at least a good chunk of them are going into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I mentioned Tyron Smith. Zach Martin's going in as well. Travis Frederick should. And that's actually the one bone to pick I have with, like, Eagles fans, and, like, I said this before, I love Jason Kelce, I do. He trashes my Cowboys every opportunity he gets. I can't be mad at the guy because he does seem like a decent guy I'd like to hang out with. He's a family man. Just welcomed his fourth child. Congratulations, by the way. But the Dallas Cowboys had a bearded all-pro center before Jason Kelce made it look cool. That was Travis Frederick. If you're wondering what happened to him, outside of the fact that most offensive linemen tend to keep to themselves, is he was stricken with that one autoimmune disease, Guillain-Barré syndrome, and that significantly shortened his career, which is rather sad. But before that happened, he really was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I mean, I'm still holding out hope. I still think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But knowing everything that's happened, I mean, Jason Kelce will probably get in first. Which, again, seriously, if Jason Kelce makes it in the Hall of Fame, I'm going to be really happy for that guy. Because he deserves it. For sure. Who else from the Cowboys should make the Hall of Fame? I mean, you can make kind of a case for Des Bryant for making it in there. I mean, I would just want to see this just because, I was a fan of this guy when I saw him for several reasons. That was Sean Lee. For starters, he was one letter away from being called Stan Lee, who was the creator of Marvel Comics, which is awesome. Not to mention, the vast majority of players I mentioned earlier that I liked, Jason Witten, Cole Beasley, Tyron Smith, and all those other guys, they all played on offense. Sean Lee was a linebacker. And he was the first defensive player on the Cowboys that I liked. That, I took a liking to. And I noticed right away. I mean, not to mention, since he went to Penn State, they gave him a badass nickname, the General. He was the General! I mean, it's a slim case for Sean Lee making the Hall of Fame. I mean, will he probably do it? As much as my heart wants to say yes, I gotta go with my head on this one and say probably not. But if he does, that'd be really cool. Because he really was, honestly, when I think of linebackers to come out of Penn State, I'm looking at Sean Lee. I mean, now we have Micah Parsons, who also went to Penn State. And he's very, very, very good. I mean, you can make the very undisputed case that Micah Parsons is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. But that's just, but before him it was Sean Lee. And yeah, then I like Leighton Vander. Leighton Vander just kept getting injured, but man, he was the Wolf Hunter, man. He was Wolf Hunter. Yeah, I love that. Like him and Jalen Smith. Oh, dude. Like, that was Wolf Hunter and the Predator. Seriously, at that time, especially when the Cowboys wound up upsetting the Saints 13-10, like, you could have made the case that in tandem, Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith were the two best linebackers in football. Like, individually, you could put them both in the top 10 at that time. But, like, in tandem, there's nobody better. There was nobody better. But, I don't know. I guess that's the curse of being a Cowboys fan. Living in the past. Enjoying the moments when we win. Feeling like complete garbage when we lose. But still supporting our team because, darn it, that's what we do. Although I will say, if we didn't fire Mike McCarthy, I would have legitimately stopped being a fan. I'm being serious. If we did not fire Mike McCarthy, I would have stopped being a fan. I really would have. But we fired him. I'm still a fan. I'm always going to root for the Cowboys. I mean, listen. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I am surrounded by the Bills Mafia. You know, I'm friends with many people from the Bills Mafia. They're some of the nicest, most fun people to hang out with, and if you take the time to get to know them, you know, you're gonna love them. So, I mean, yeah. Of course my ideal Super Bowl would be the Cowboys and the Bills again. It'd be the third time it's happened. Although, Bills fans, I can tell you right now, if by some crazy miracle it's the Bills and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl again, well, for starters, nobody would be more surprised or happy than I will. But even though I am a Cowboys fan first, I would give the win to the Bills. I really would. You know, I mentioned that the Cowboys have Dak Prescott. The Bills have Josh Allen. And you know what? I'll say it. Josh Allen's my favorite player in the NFL. I mean, in terms of quarterbacks, he absolutely is. But, yeah, Josh Allen's my favorite player in the NFL. Although, I'm sure some of you guys could have told me that, now could you? Not couldn't you? I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all you guys watching Joe Renee. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. Remember, if you guys want to talk to him, we'll be here to let you know what's your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.